I'd like to reenact something I actually saw on Temple Bar Square. That's where I do performances there. I don't know if you're aware of that. I stand there and I gather crowds, and I've learned a very valuable lesson. One of them is that no matter who you are, where you're from, I treat everybody the same. And one time I was doing a show and I had a big crowd of people around me, like this, except outside and not on seats. And so this guy came through in a wheelchair, and I thought, oh, Jesus, I'm not going to make fun of him, and I just ignored him. And the guy stopped there, and he looked at me, and he said, why aren't you making fun of me? Do you think because I'm in a wheelchair, I don't have a sense of humor? Do you think because I can't walk, I can't laugh at myself? Is that what you think? And of course, the audience around him were like, yeah! And they were, yeah, and I felt really humiliated. And I looked at him and I said, you're pretty funny, but you can never be a stand-up comedian.
Hello, how are you? How's it going? Big sea of happy people here. Yes, actually, speaking of happiness, happy ad on the radio, 11-8-11. 11-8-11, 11-8-11. It's a real happy ad, isn't it? 11-8-11. Now a golden page is talking, 11, and then you ring and it goes, hello, directory inquiries. Mary speaking. Husband bastard left me and the kids in Barson Austria. How may I help you? Can the phone number please for the GPO? How do you spell that? An Eircom. Have you ever tried to synchronise your voice with the Eircom messaging service? Ring your phone. I rang mine and I get this, hello, welcome to the Eircom messaging service. Brendan Burke cannot come to the phone right now. And you speak of accents, receptionists. Why do receptionists talk with that most irritating accent? Well, David O'Connor, please come to receptionist. David O'Connor to reception. Well, Michael O'Brien, it's Michael O'Brien, please come to reception. You don't talk like that outside of work, do you? I went to the pub, about 15 pints of Guinness. That's 15 pints of Guinness. Woke up this morning with my willy hangout.
It's like getting out of a little old broken Mini and getting into a huge big 7 Series BMW, like going from Gibneys to here, but absolutely enjoy it. I'm knackered. I'm wrecked. I feel like I'm doing a football match or something like that, kicking balls all night.
I'm wearing a new bra on stage tonight. It's got the new NASA anti-gravitational bust technology. It's called a shock and awe. It gives you an awe-inspiring cleavage when you put it on, and it's quite a shock for anybody in the immediate vicinity when you take it off again. There's loads of young women in the audience tonight. And they're looking at me, these teenagers say, Jesus Christ, what age are you? You look about 10, you haven't got a clue what I'm on about. That's because, ladies, when you're in your 20s, you kind of automatically associate your breasts with the upper part of your body. And then you hit your 30s and it's suddenly like they don't want to hang out with your shoulders anymore. They're strangely attracted to your stomach. And your stomach's going, come, we will make for you a shelf of fat and flesh. Come. Rest yourself thither. You're clapping because you're going, it's true, except she's got a higher shelf. But no, I heard an old woman talking about this on the radio the other day. Jerry Ryan, I think it was. No, he was just saying, he talks about a lot of personal stuff. He was just saying how he felt his own bust had begun to sag a bit. And this woman phoned in and she said, well, Jerry, if you want to know whether or not your bust is actually sagging, what you do is you pop your top off, you stand in front of the mirror, you take a pencil or a biro, you put it under the breast, you take your hands away, and if it stays there, they're drooping. And I thought, well, I'm going to try that. So, Michael, what I did was I popped my top off. I'm standing in front of the mirror. Oh. The sound man's behind me, shoving it. No, sorry. And... Hi, Dad. And standing there, I couldn't find a pencil or a biro. I could only find my laptop. But... I'm such a good girl, and my only obsession is, did I do too long? I was kind of flipping through my set going, oh, if I don't have enough time, I wish I could do my other stuff at the end. And then I kind of, yeah, I had to leave out some nice material.
How we doing? How we doing? No, you can stop. I know it's fake. Relax. I've been single now for about 3 or 4 stone, I suppose, at this stage, and yeah, whatever. How are you? Well done. When you've been single for a while, though, you get a bit desperate, you know, and I got so desperate, I ended up going to a dating agency, and I was going out on all these dates, and nothing much was working out. So I went back to the woman who was running the dating agency and said, look, if you're not got someone on your books, right, who doesn't care about how I look, doesn't care what job I have, someone who has a nice big pair of tits. And she checked on the computer and said, actually, Karl, we do have one, but unfortunately it's you.
As a young Limerick lad, what made you get into comedy?
Billy Connolly played Limerick, and I saw him and thought, oh, I want to do that. And my girlfriend at the time, I said, oh, I want to be like that. And she looked at me with total disgust.
Well, she said it as well.
No, I said I wanted to be stand-up comic.
Right.
And she thought it was like, no, you'll never be that.
And
then I saw you and thought, no, I can.
Yes, anyone can do it.
So I've been making the effort now, you know, trying to better myself, you know, and going on diets and stuff, but me going on a diet is a bit like England entering a football tournament, you know. It starts with all this optimism, you know. Early good results are exaggerated. And it ends with someone innocent being blamed for it all going wrong. And occasionally violence in a kebab shop. Thank you, yeah. But you have all these diets now, these fancy diets that people do. Like the big one at the moment is the Atkins diet. On the Atkins diet, you can eat as much meat and protein as you like, as long as you don't eat any carbohydrates, and you're supposed to lose weight. And then you've got things like the Evans diet, when you can eat as much carbohydrates as you like, as long as you don't eat any meat or protein, and you're supposed to lose weight. Well, they're both shit, right? I've been doing the 2 of them now for the last while.
And with the writing process with you, because it's very much like well-crafted gags as such,
Yeah.
But so do you write every day or just let things occur
Very
to you?
lazy.
Do you just
I let it occur pretty much, and I try and make note of it. And I host a gig in Limerick a lot, which I'll try out new stuff there, and if it really works, it's in the set. To be honest, I'm putting on weight, you know. Yeah, you love it. But I've been making the effort, you know. I joined the gym, and I didn't know what to expect in the gym. You know, I'd never trained in the gym before. Used to play lots of football, was quite fit, but never trained in the gym. So I went into the gym, and the fitness instructor's there, right, for your induction. Which program would you like to be on? And I'm there. I don't know. What programs do you do? He says, well, we do 2 main programs. Do you want to put on weight or do you want to lose weight? Which would you recommend? So he said to me, do you recognise any of the equipment we have here in the gym? And I says, I do indeed. The televisions, the phone, and the sofa. I know how to use the 3 of them together as well, if it's any help.
But are you still living with your parents or have you got your own place?
I live with my father and my sister at home, yeah.
And what age are you?
Well, I've only recently moved back.
No, we'll edit that bit out. What age are you, Karl? Who lives with his dad?
I'm 33 next month. Well, by the time this is broadcast, I'm 33. I lied on stage about my age, I'm sorry.
You said you were 30?
Yeah.
Why?
It just fits the material and shows how old it is.
Well, anyway, nice to meet you and good luck with everything.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
And safe home.
That whole Celtic Tiger economy we had going there for a while, it wasn't going to last anyway. Because basically, It was a false economy. The whole thing was a false economy. The economy was created by governments around the world to alleviate a particular problem that was happening around the world. Because what happened was, some of you might be too young to remember this, but in the 80s, in Ireland, tens of thousands of unemployed men and women, and it's just men I'm actually thinking of for this particular story, right? Because what happened was, tens and thousands of unemployed men, right? And these men were getting on boats and planes, and they were heading off to Boston and New York and Australia and, you know, all of London, everywhere. They were heading out off around the world, right? They'd be meeting these women, they'd be sleeping with them, having sex with them, thus spreading the dreaded Irish ugly gene, right? That's what happened in the 80s. Because, you know, these women, they, you know, they're innocent enough, you know how it is, they'd be in nightclubs, having a few drinks, you know, a bit drunk. It would be dark, you know. They'd meet this man and they'd go home with him, they'd sleep with him. It was only, you know, when they wake up in the morning, they turn around and go, oh, God! They see this kind of pale, translucent Celtic monstrosity lying beside him. Oh, no, I've slept with an Irish man. And a panic thing. And then, you know, the girl, of course, would, you know, do her best to get rid of him. You know, tell him there was a shop around the corner selling Tato crisps or something, you know. And, you know, of course, Paddy beyond with the O'Neill shorts and out the door, you know. Great. But then, you know, a few weeks later, the poor girl would, you know, find out she was pregnant. And 9 months later, through no fault of her own, she'd give birth to a very, very ugly child. So this was a problem. So the governments of the world got together and they basically came up with this idea where they said, let's keep Irish men at bloody home where they belong. Don't be letting them roaming around the world with their manky chromosomes, right? So basically they created this Celtic tiger economy. You know, the Americans were great. They did their part. They, you know, pretended they needed all these millions of computers that they had no use for in the first place, you know, which is great. EU poured millions into roads and infrastructure. It was great. And for a while it worked. But as I say, it's kind of gone now. It was never going to last because it was a false economy. And in a few months' time, we're going to have Irish men heading off again around the globe with their manky chromosomes. And it's just to ensure that for a few more generations at least, we're going to have Americans or whatever, you know, coming back here, looking for their ancestors, looking for their relatives, just so they can go up to them and say, look what the fucking did to me, my God.
Who better to talk about ugly Irish people than somebody who's been encountering ugly Irish men? I must point out I was talking about ugly Irish men, not because I don't think Irish women are ugly. I'm just too sensible to even go there.
As Irish people, we are very insecure and we have a low self-esteem. And English people have intrinsically feel superior to everybody in the world. And it's all to do with the English people's colonial past. You know that kind of English people. Yes, we used to own here, 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 and here. And here, and here, and here. And all of here, and here. And here. And here, and here, and here. And now we own here. But the real reason we are the way we are is more to do with the size and shape of our countries. Because if you look at Ireland on a map, it's a tiny little squashed teddy bear shape in a sit-up and beg position, alone, adrift in the Atlantic, with a little woolly arse. That's Wexford. And England is like a big dirty pervert looming over us, stalking us. And we're like this, would you feck off, England, would you? And England's like, who's your daddy all tonight? Who's your daddy? You know you want it. I diddly-daddly don't want it. I met a beautiful woman last night. She had a beautiful face and a beautiful body. But she had the brain of a pigeon. A pigeon. A pigeon. I was drunk, I didn't care. I went home with her anyway. The next morning I woke up, I looked into her eyes. She looked at me and she said, oh, oh, oh. I made love to a pigeon last night. I was drunk, it was out of sight. With her skinny little legs and her penetrating eyes, a lice-infected neck and her feathers. I stayed with her for a week. She gave good beak. Thank you very much. Thank you. Anyway, listen, ladies and gentlemen, you've been a fantastic audience. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you very much.